Classic Plastik here, and today we're going to be looking at a very cool console, one that I've been meaning to get my hands on. But before we get to that, let's kind of recap the two series that have got the Rockstar treatment this year. The first one comes down to opinion, whether you think they got the Rockstar treatment. I think it did. The second one, it's no doubt, everybody across the board says that this series got some much needed attention. The first one was Resident Evil, the Resident Evil series, and they got the Rockstar treatment with 4 games in 1 year. The first one was Raccoon City Operations, the second one was Resident Evil 6, the third one was Resident Evil Revelations, and then Revelations got released to the home consoles, which generated a lot more money for Capcom. And not only that, it really specified what the fans wanted from Capcom and what the fans were hoping Resident Evil became in the future. The second one is Zelda. Zelda has long been a series that hasn't gotten the attention that other series have gotten. In particular, Mario gets it a lot. Metroid got it with the trilogy, but Zelda just wasn't in the spotlight. But this year, Zelda is at the top of its game, the Zelda series. And the reason I say that is because Zelda has seen a couple of game releases this year, which multiple Zelda releases in a year is quite unheard of. So kind of going back to that, I purchased, and you guys saw it on my other videos, a Wii U. And I'm kicking myself over the head, not because the console isn't any good, but just because I should have waited and gotten the one I wanted. So this is where it comes in. Zelda got a reboot for its Wind Waker game. So it actually got a Wii U console dedicated to it. It's black and it has the Hylian design on it, which is just completely awesome. I'm really hoping I get it for Christmas. I wasn't able to get the console, but I did get something just as cool, and as soon as it hit the market, the price skyrocketed. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so after dealing with the heartbreak of not being able to get the Wii U Zelda edition, the one with all the cool designs and all that stuff, and of course the game, the Wind Waker, I had to settle for the next best thing. As soon as I heard the Wind Waker was getting a reboot, I went to GameStop and I pre-ordered it as soon as it was announced. And the really cool thing was that I actually saw on the website that it was getting a collector's edition. That's to say, one with special material or content. And in our case, we got the Ganondorf statue, which is just completely awesome. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the internet, and you've seen the auctions going off for the statue alone. I mean, it's around $60, and then the sealed games are going for more. But I pre-ordered it, got the special edition Zelda Wind Waker game. It's not opened. Still got all its stickers, and I haven't opened it because it's a collector's edition I want to hold on to, and if I really want to play the game, I'll just buy another copy of the Wind Waker. Now, of course, I have the GameCube one, and my main gripe with it was that the boat was too slow. So you spent about 15 minutes at sea trying to get to an island, and then to find out you had to get to another one. So with this one, it's actually fixed. The boats go twice as fast, so you spend half the time at sea. So not a bad deal. I played the demo, and it looks awesome. I mean, everybody was doing their shopping. I was playing the demo, and I remember having to be pried off that Wii U pad because we had to go back home. So That was an interesting experience just to see how fun Zelda is, that you can just zone out the rest of the world. So Zelda got the Wii U console release, it got the Wind Waker release, and then on top of that, if you recall a couple years ago, the Ocarina of Time also got the Rockstar treatment and got an HD release. Well, this year, Nintendo actually went and produced a whole new game. It's called The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. And basically this is a sequel to Link to the Past. And if any of you have played Link to the Past, you know this game is going to be awesome. I mean, A Link to the Past is a masterpiece. Without any further ado, let's show you guys what I got. And that is The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. And this is the game plus the 3DS XL bundle. So you get the special edition 3DS XL, and you also get a downloadable copy of the game. So if you were to buy a 3DS and the game, not the bundle, it would cost you about $20 more, and you wouldn't get the special edition 3DS. So this is a pretty good deal for you guys trying to get a 3DS XL with an awesome game. So let's do the unboxing, and you be the judge if it's worth it or not. Alright, so all of it comes nicely packaged in this cardboard tray. The box is awesome. I don't know if you guys remember, but the old 3DS boxes were impossible to get in, and you basically vandalized them and ruined them. So this is really nice, and plus the old 3DSs came in this huge box. So the packaging is very, very nice. Alright, so first thing we have is the 3DS XL operation manual, and it's very, very thick. It's a good piece of literature, but I'm sure it comes in different languages. Actually, it does. It comes in French and Espanol. Good stuff. We have the Guía Rápida, so it's the quick guide, and I think, yep, there you go, it's quick start guide, and it's just copies of the same quick start guide in different languages, which is pretty cool. I guess they don't have to individualize different regions for their game, so you get 3 copies. A little wasteful, but you get the Club Nintendo membership redeeming code, and I can't show the code because I'm going to redeem it, and I don't need anybody else redeeming it for me, so this is pretty cool. It should get me a couple of points. Then you have the Zelda full game download voucher, and you get this from the eShop, and it just tells you how to download the game. So instead of getting a hard copy, you get a downloadable copy. And I know I'm showing the download code, but it'll be redeemed well before this video goes up. Pretty cool. Alright, I got some more AR cards. I've actually picked up quite a couple of AR packs. I got the initial one from my 3DS. I got this one from the 3DS XL, and then I also got the one from Kid Icarus. All of them are still in their packages. I haven't opened them to take a look at them. I'm not much of an AR gameplay type person. Okay, so we have both consoles sitting next to each other. You can tell the difference between one and the other. This is the original, this is the XL. We're going to go through some of the aesthetic changes that Nintendo has done with the later console, and some of the upgrades they've put on it. At least I think they are. But we're going to start with the XL. The XL has a more circular clamshell type design. The original is also a clamshell design, but has more, it has sharp corners, it's more boxy, and it looks less polished in terms of design. One of the big indicators of that is the 3 shades of red that the XL has, and basically it's transparent red, dark red, light red. With that color scheme, it kind of shows, you know, did they know what color they wanted, or did they just all come to an understanding that all of them would get their color? So the color scheme isn't really my favorite one out of all the Game Boys and DSs they've made. Another big difference is if you look in the front of both consoles, you can tell that the audio jack has been moved from the middle over to the left side of the console, which is a very nice upgrade, just because having a jack in the middle of your console really makes it hard to get your hands wrapped around it. And not only that, if you stick it in your pocket, chances are you're not going to be able to have your headphones plugged into your 3DS as well as you would with the XL. Both consoles have lanyard anchors. The original one, the anchor on that one is super annoying to get through, so it took me about 30 minutes to do that. So I like this little hinge they put on there. Makes it a lot easier. Another difference is the shoulder buttons. As I said before, the XL is a little more polished in design than the original. You can tell that the shoulder buttons are sticking out, and that just makes it look ugly. The XL, on the other hand, they're nicely tucked in within the parameters of the design, and they're a lot more responsive. They're less of a rectangle shape and more of a comfortable shoulder button. Now, the one thing that I will say that the original has over the XL is the original has a very nice chrome telescoping stylus. I just really like the design of this. It's small, it's compact, and it does its job well. The XL, on the other hand, has a full-size stylus, and this is a full-sized handheld, so of course you can understand, but I still like the telescoping ones a lot better. In terms of storage, they both work off a SD slot. So on the original, the SD slot is right here. On the XL, the SD slot has been hid a little better, and it's actually hanging out down here. Now, the most noticeable difference between the original and the XL is, of course, that the XL is 90% bigger. Well, at least the screens are 90% bigger than the original. Size-wise, it is also bigger than the original. Nowadays, people don't really care for portability, or at least storage, just because you can find a pouch for anything nowadays. Phones are getting bigger, tablets are getting bigger, and for some reason people still manage to make them portable. let's open up both of these consoles and see the differences inside. Now, I was testing out the games on the XL. I've been playing Ocarina of Time on the original, but after playing this game for a while, and this is Resident Evil Revelations on the XL, I heard on some reviews that people could see pixelation, or they could see minor pixelating around the edges of the characters. I've been playing it for about an hour, and I can't tell the difference between the resolution on the XL and the original. Not to say that the XL has better resolution or worse resolution, there just isn't a difference in my opinion. Another really cool thing that they changed is the button scheme. So basically, instead of painting it the color scheme of the DS, they actually made it a matte black, which is very nice. It does give better grip on the buttons. The next thing that you'll notice is that with the original 3DS, they just put a sticker over these buttons, and after wear and tear, the 3DSs would look very abused, and aesthetically it just was not pleasing. So what they did is now they put 3 hard buttons on the bottom, and it's the home, start, and select just as the original. And then the last noticeable difference between the consoles is the 3D slider. So basically, battery consumption is a big deal with these consoles, whether it be the 3DSs, the PSP, or the Vitas. But I just kind of found it very wasteful to have this little LED turned on just to tell you that the 3D option is there. I can understand if you turn on the 3D effect and it turns on, but I mean, it just stays on all the time, which is kind of annoying and isn't really energy efficient. Now, as I said before, the original does have lips on it and rough edges, and with the slider it actually sticks out, so it could get snagged and break. The slider does move up and down once in a while, which turns on the 3D effect when you don't want it. On this one, it actually has a little locking mechanism, and it's flush with the frame of the screen, so it doesn't snag and it won't break. If you really want the 3D effect, then just push it up and it unlocks and gives you the desired effect. I normally don't play with the 3D effect just because it's very uncomfortable for my eyes personally. In my opinion, there's only a couple of games that have really been able to hone the 3D technology, and one of them is Mario 3DS Land. So besides the size difference and the minor aesthetic differences, both of these consoles are, for the most part, the same. Screen resolution is the same. Gameplay on both of them is the same. There really isn't a difference, but besides, of course, the screen size. I prefer the XL more than the original just because there's some games that are detail oriented, and on the small screen you can easily miss that. Overall, both versions of the console are great. They do their job and they do them well. I'm just really happy I was able to get an XL Zelda edition, which just made it all the much better, and it's this loud gold color with this brush finish for the Triforce symbol. So guys, thank you for watching this episode of Classic Plastik. Subscribe, leave your comments below, and as always, game on.